Good morning, this is Lizzie. I'm filming this the right way, I think, so that you get the full picture in the iPhone frame. I'm not sure. Anyway, week in the life. My week in life turned out fat, really fat. So all ideas of having a pretty cover page went out the window. Instead, I just grabbed one of the mini stickers that were on the back of the little packets that came in the kit, pulled it off the cellophane, cut it out and stuck it in here, and then used one of the 2x2 pockets to put pictures of our house in and a few simple story stickers to go along with it and, cutouts of pattern paper. So I thought that was a really nice overview way of looking at our place, our house, our life. And not only that, a good way to use up the 2x2 pockets. I did use another one. I wanted to do one for my dog walks and one for my shopping, one for food, but the album got too fat. So I've used these dividers that are a little bit older, I think, but I peeled off the paper off the front of the chipboard and then attached it to cardstock to make them thinner, and that worked pretty well. I certainly wasn't going to not put them in the album because it got fat, because that was a lot of work. The cork, there wasn't enough of the letters for the whole week, so I had some cork, some adhesive cork at home, so I just used these as a template and hand cut the numbers that I needed later on. I used that pad, and each day popped in. I put a few stickers and then just popped in like a really brief overview of what we did. And I did that every day. Then used one big 6x8, 2 photos, and then the other ones. So, and I always pop those, are they acetates? Words. Days of the week on the start of the week. So first day, that's dog walking, and we went to visit some friends, so they got roped into having a picture taken of them. For this one, I basically did the morning, what we did during the day, morning, lunch and night time. I've got a new old-fashioned typewriter, Anyway, I wanted to use that. So the typing's really, really dodgy, but it's okay. It's mine and I enjoy using it. The cards that came in the kit were too thick, so I had to photocopy them using thinner cardstock, and then I was able to pop that through the typewriter, okay. Every day, except the last day when I forgot, I took a screenshot of our weather and then a picture of, our house or out the window or just, in the general area of where we live, except the last day I forgot to do that. This was a round cornered thing, so I just cut off the corners and shoved it in. Each day also, I tried to use at least one cork, one of the chipboards, this one, and what else did and the one checky card. So I did pretty well. Every day I did what we ate, but I didn't always do it in the same format. Sometimes it was a 3x4 card. Sometimes I typed it. Sometimes I did it on the Becky Higgins Project Life app. So because we're empty nesters, inverted commas, there's lots of pictures of our home and my bed, because I do love my bed and bedroom. I discovered Style Book, I think it's called. It's an app for choosing your clothes. So I spent a whole day photographing my clothes. I told you I haven't got a life. Photographing my clothes, and I thought it was quite neat because this is on the iPhone and then this is the clothes in real life, ready to wear the next day. So, yeah, that was a bit of fun. And a friend of mine, Ali, not Airwoods, said that she photographs what she wears, her skincare or cosmetics or whatever. I don't have much of a regime. I'm too old and my skin's it's all over Red Rover. Anyway, this was what I use. And I did do a little bit of stamping. I'm getting better at it. I thought that was quite neat, not too smudgy. And then, I sort of did a picture of me at my age because I figured that was probably important to look back on because I'll never look this good again. Anyway, so getting ready to have a shower. And this one I left an empty pocket. Didn't mean to, it's just I didn't have another photo to fill in. These things I found really hard to use, to be honest, but I struggled. I got there, I used some of them. So we flip over and we do that through the other side, but then you see my hands doing some scrapbooking on that side. I didn't do this a lot, but I really like the idea of cutting the photo in half. That works okay. So, and this was a mini meltdown when I couldn't find, this is my first time at Week in the Life, and I'd written a little book with lots of hints and ideas that I got off the Facebook group, thank you, and from my friends, and then I put it away somewhere safe. And for the life of me, I couldn't find it. Well, that probably had something to do with the mess on my craft table. So I cleaned up, found the book, all good, and, you know, keep it together. You got this. So, yeah, that was that one. And I'm a bit obsessive. So, and also my friend said if you could get straight on to doing Week in the Life, do it. So at night time, instead of watching telly or reading or writing letters or computer work, I was letting hubby do that. Of course, I would let him. He did it anyway. And I sat at my little desk behind and started the process each day, and that worked really well. Every day I used these cards, and I had a little stamp tick and wrote 4 things that I liked about the day. So today was the Style Book app, the last of the sunny summer days. Not that it's summer, it's actually autumn, but it's like summer. Breakfast in bed, which is, I'm pretty lucky about that, and catching up with our friends. And we go on to the next day. So that was sort of basically virtually what I did for each day. So I'll flip over pretty quickly. I do love this. My hubby has a sunny corner and the dog, and it really is. This is love. And we are blessed to have an indoor heated pool where we are. So, you know, a play on words. This is love and love is this sort of thing. So a bit of fun. Once more, the typing, the weather, pretty good weather we have over in Aussie, pretty lucky. And then I do get breakfast in bed every morning, virtually. And so I've just written a little gratitude thing about that. Hair up, you know, going out for the day. I really like the driving shots. Some people do them, and it was a bit lucky, that shot. Visiting friends, that was written on with the Project Life app. That works. And, you know, sometimes you've just got to have caramel mud cake for lunch, don't you? I do, just occasionally, and maybe even 2 pieces too. So, yeah, this was a favourite. I smudged the favourite, so I popped some hearts on it. Then I thought the wood cup. I found the wooden shape's hard to use too, but the cup worked there. And then I thought, oh, the heart should be coming out of the cup. But then you would see the smudge. So, hey-ho, that's the way it goes. This was a bit fortuitous. I'd taken a picture of our villa in the morning, and if you can see, there's just one square rectangle there. Came home in the afternoon and my hubby had put up our cottage sign from our previous house. So wrote a little story about that because we do love our house, so it really is home. Yeah, just journaling once again, the 4 things I liked, and this time I did the food typed but on a smaller card. I didn't put many of these in, and I sort of knew that the album was going to be full, so I couldn't. This is where we live. I call it the green. It's the green space around our place. I tried to use the rubber things. That's good. And to stick it in, good old Tombow. But another girl said the red line tape works just as well, but that's stuck, so that's good. This is the other 2x2 pocket page that I used, and for this one I just took random shots throughout the day. I think it's almost like a day in the life in the week of the life. I was going to say the other way around. So I've got things like I do French app memorize, so I'll put that in. Social mediaing, your Facebook group. Look, there's some of your names there. Anyway, yes, I wrote about that. A bill that came in, so I wrote about that. Getting ready in the morning. Our gates to our complex. Just really random shots in the car, driving, a shopping centre and dropping bags off to the op shop / charity shop, whatever you call them, whichever country you live in. So, yeah, so I really like doing that. I wish I could have done more of it, but ran out of room. So once more, the big picture with the acetate. One of those. We live quite close to the beach, so that's nice. And because I do enjoy breakfast in bed, and so does the dog, we did that. Once again, the same journaling and weather photo. This is not chronological necessarily. Some days I put photos that just fit earlier in the day, even if they've been taken later in the day. Sometimes we didn't eat much, so I had room for a few more in bellies. That's fine. I'm not very good at selfies, especially timers, so I thought it was quite funny because I'm running back trying to get there hairs all over the show to try and get a decent photo, which we didn't get anyway, but, you know, it's all part of life and it's fun, isn't it? So this became a bit of a story because I was writing about the style book app and how clothes I would never put together, style book, whatever it's called anyway, I do. And then this one, which I thought was really funny. So I've written, apparently you can look better if you hold the camera up high to do a selfie. Yeah, right. Check out my startled rabbit look. I'm of the generation that finds selfies both difficult and embarrassing, but I'll keep trying. So I thought that was a pretty good story to tell. Sometimes that's just old scrapbook paper that I've cut up and popped behind the pockets. I think that works perfectly well. Getting scrappy. This was today's fun and games. So like an overview of the day. Getting scrappy was obviously fun. Doing the washing, I don't know. For some of you it might be fun, not me. Checking our post office box is fun if there's nice mail and not bills. And, of course, taking the dog for a walk, Wally, is always fun. Sometimes I had photos like from my walk that day, and to make them fit in, I just popped them on a collage, once again in the Project Life app by Heidi Schwab. The little check-in card and my things. This day I did a little bit differently because this was I've got grandchildren, grandboys, whatever. And so this is a different day because I get up early. I don't have breakfast I do have breakfast in bed, but it's very early. So because there were lots of observations from the day, because that's what kids do to you, don't they? They do funny things and interesting things. So you observe. And so I did this slightly differently. So that's two of my grandboys, beautiful little wee bubbers. And we had donuts. I love donuts. Got quite a few pictures of donuts in here. So just early morning start, but basically virtually the same. And little moments like this, hubby does this every morning and the dog's usually there. So those sort of things are really worth capturing, I think. And I like that card. I'm not sure where that came from. But anyway, it works well. So it's the little things in life. And then, of course, because the grandboys do a lot because they're boys and they're young and they're energetic, like jumping on couches that they're not allowed to do with their parents, but that's okay. Shh, we won't tell them. I took lots of boy photos, which you do, and, you know, love this moment. It's so cute. Anyway, and there we go. So it's not always happy. And it was interesting. I was following a comment on the Facebook page about people saying, do you put unhappy or photos in? And look, I do, because I have found all three grandchildren absolutely love and adore seeing pictures of them crying. They look back and they go, was that me, Ma? What was I doing? I was really upset. That's so funny. So, yeah, I don't think kids worry about things like that in the way that adults do. So, yeah, embrace it. They love it. They just adore it. In fact, in their little yearly books that I make, it's the first pages. They go to the dirty pages if they've got yucky faces, or their crying pages, and they love it. So, yeah, that's just my son, my oldest son. And once more, I was going home, and we don't have many autumnal trees around here in Sydney. It's not where we live on the coast. It's not around. So that was a bit of a highlight for me. Oh, this is too long. Okay, so this is when I started cutting out my own cork shapes, and that works. If I hadn't told you, you wouldn't have known. It's going to flick through really quickly. Biscuits and reading, yes. My own writing for a change, switched it up for a change. Social media ring, so I put a whole lot of collages of my social media ring. The sun shining through, new glasses, $99 for 2 pairs because I've got a skinny face and I can fit kids' glasses on, yes. I'm a bit of a mad bujo diaryizer-y person, so the way I schedule. Housework and what it means to me or doesn't mean, and how I have a great problem with housework at the moment, but that's okay. Hubby had to have a skin cancer off his face. Coffee, of course, has to make it in there somewhere. Favourite still, day 12, day before Mother's Day, he bought me a cake home, my husband, taking the dog for a walk. I do a French class once a month, so that was quite nice. Finally, we had some clouds, another week in the life, a sticker that I pulled off the packaging, shoes. It was a jammy day. I really like this card. I just popped Project Life card behind, transparency over top, and then a sticker, and that worked quite well, I thought. Tart Citrons. All of a sudden, this day became a food day, so I went with it. So it's food, breakfast, cake, and I've written here, apparently this is my Mother's Day prezi, a day early and with the addendum that I'm not his mother, but it was still yummy. More food, lamb casserole, and the dishes. I'm a bit weird. My dishes must be clean before I place them in the dishwasher to be washed. I know, but it's just the way it is, using these little card chippy things, the stitches from the skin cancer. And the last day, which was Mother's Day in Australia, I think it was in America too, I'm not sure. Same thing, but this time I went black and white because the colours were bad. I didn't take many photos and it just worked better. They always say black and white is good for photos that you want to use that may not be of the highest quality, and it seems to work. Did my own writing down here, everyday life, just having lunch, flowers from my son and beautiful daughter-in-law, a view from my bed. And yes, they are used tissues because that's life, eh? We have tissues to use them. And then family lunch. My son, who's not with us, he's in America, but working over there, but he's rang me, so that was nice for Mother's Day. The kids, the family, and presents, more donuts, and happiness about happiness, and that's it. I just ended it. That was another see-through pocket. Just ended it like that because I have not got any room to summarise it up. So that's it. Thank you for looking. I'm sorry this is so long. Bye.